Today we're going to make a little video on aftermarket seats, how to choose them, and how to replace them. There's a little more to the process than just going to a catalog and picking out the one that's pretty or the one you like. The details will make the job a lot easier for you. If you do take your time and measure first, it will save you a lot of time when it comes to the actual installation. Now, this machine I'm standing in front of is 35 years old. The seat's been replaced several times. Now it's gotten to the point, because of the damage on the seat, you can see the tear, you can see the foam picks up moisture, and when you sit on it, obviously you can get your pants wet. And the frame of the seat is actually cracking here. Some point in the past, both armrests have come off. Just daily use, off and on the machine, it snags your coat, things get broken. But the critical point in replacing the seat is the measurements. This seat has a small area to sit in. The machine articulates, so the critical distance on this machine is the distance between the engine cover and the back of the seat. The actual clearance here is only 3.5 inches or 4 inches. When the machine articulates, it's even less than that. The overall dimension of the seat is 22 inches wide. Now, we do sell aftermarket seats that are up to 30 inches wide, but those are for machines that have a lot more room in the seat area. What I've done is I've unbolted this seat to get the other critical measurement, which is on the bottom. The critical measurements you need are the distance between your rails, which in this case across the front is 11.5, and from front to back it's 11 inches. But there are also slots in these rails which allow you to use other holes if your dimensions aren't exactly the same. This is more of a universal style with these slides. Now, the seat I've chosen after measuring is just a simple replacement seat, vinyl covered. It does have a drain hole because this machine sits out in the weather quite a bit. The drain hole is right here. Not all seats have a drain hole. You might want to check that before you purchase your seat. Now, back to the rails. If you look at this seat, it has a pretty standard bolt pattern, which means it's 11 inches wide side to side and 11.5 inches front to back. These bolts will slide right into the original holes without any adjustment. It is really critical before you buy any seat to know this measurement and look at the information included with the seat. If your bolt pattern doesn't match what it shows in the catalog, you may end up drilling new holes for it. But you also need to determine, does your seat come with slides like these two do, so the seat will move back and forth? Some don't. Some don't require these slides, and we also sell that style seat. The last thing on your seat choice, most modern machines have what is called an operator's presence switch under the seat, and those would fit into this area here or this area here. If your machine has that switch on it, you have to ensure that the areas marked out for it on the replacement seat match your design and style. Not all switches are the same. Not all switches will fit into these holes or cavities. But without them, your machine won't function. The other critical aspect of choosing a seat is to know that the bolts on most replacement seats are SAE coarse thread bolts. Your original seat most likely will have metric threaded bolts. Do not attempt to put your metric bolts or nuts onto a replacement seat. Most likely they will not fit. You will damage the threads and you will void the warranty at the same time. So that's critical. Check your bolts before you do the installation. Make sure you have the right nuts and bolts. If you've done the measuring correctly, the seat installation itself is usually the simplest part of the procedure. For my seat, because I already had an aftermarket seat, all of the nuts and bolts are standard thread. I didn't have to replace anything. But simple tools, a ratchet, an open-end wrench, but most critically is the tape measure. Measure first, or as carpenters say, measure twice, cut once. This will save you tons of time and effort and heartbreak. So now what I'm going to do is simply take off the old seat, which the bolts have been taken out of. Take the new seat, line up the holes, and attach the nuts. With a little bit of pre-planning, a few simple tools, and a modest amount of effort, your seat replacement can go as quickly and as smoothly as ours did today.